Okay, this is breaking news.
Pause. Donald Trump was sucking what? Donald Trump was sucking what? Huh?
Donald Trump giving Bill Clinton the Gawk 3000 allegedly was not on my radar.
How you doing?
That will sink Maga.
What the hell is going on between Trump and Bill Clinton?
Trump giving Bill Clinton a blowjob was not on my bingo card for 2025.
No, who I might meet or what.
This is a real photograph of Trump and Bill Clinton. Epstein, Jeffrey's brother, emails him and says, ask him if Putin still has the photos of Trump blowing Bubba.
US President Donald Trump is attempting to shift the Epstein spotlight. The small
Sex with people who
Trump fucking sucked off Bill Clinton!
Oh boy. I'm going to be really careful how I phrase this.
You're telling me that Trump blew in Bill Clinton's saxophone?
Damn.
Yeah, well, that doesn't look good.
I'll kiss every guy, man and woman, man and woman. Look at that guy, how handsome he is.
But a new leaked email from the deceased human trafficker that was best friends with Donald Trump and Bill Clinton says that there are photos of Donald Trump giving George Slopadopoulos to Bill Clinton. While they're waiting on an official vote on the actual FBI files, the House Democrats have subpoenaed a bunch of emails from the estate of the person that did not unalive himself.
Americans all over the internet are losing their mind about Donald Trump giving Bill Clinton.
And these are thousands and thousands of emails, okay? Too many for any one person to vet by themselves. It's too much for even like a whole organization of people who are professionals in doing that to do even like the span of like a couple of months. So it's taking a while for all of the emails to become public knowledge. But the one that has been making the rounds on the internet right now is a private conversation between the deceased individual and someone else where they're gossiping about Trump. And they say that Vladimir Putin might have pictures of Donald Trump kissing Bill Clinton, but he ain't kissing him on the mouth. Now, we don't know, right? We don't know, but this is a private conversation between two people that thought these things would never, ever release, right? And I don't know what to believe. I'm just telling you the facts here, yo. Okay, this is
slop on my knob.
So what the hell is going on between Trump and Bill Clinton, and why is it suddenly all over your feed? Let me attempt to explain because it is quite a doozy, and at the end I'll give you my take on what this really all means. It all stems from this email thread as part of the trove of new Epstein emails that were released recently. It's a conversation between Jeffrey Epstein and his brother Mark Epstein. And it starts like this. Mark Epstein asks his brother, "How are you doing? What is your boy Donald up to now?" referring to Donald Trump. Epstein replies, "All good. Bannon," referring to Steve Bannon, Trump's longtime advisor, "with me." And this is where things get bizarre. Mark asks his brother, ask him, Bannon, if Putin has any photos of Donald Trump blowing Bubba. Bubba was Bill Clinton's Secret Service name. Mark then says, "You and your boy Donnie," again referring to Trump as your boy to Epstein, "can make a remake of the movie Get Hard," which is a movie with Will Ferrell and Kevin Hart where they are in prison together. And Jeffrey Epstein responds to his brother by saying, "You mean Donnie T," which I guess was Jeffrey Epstein's nickname for Trump. And then, of course, to wrap it up, Mark Epstein says, "I'd rather be in Donnie D's shoes." To recap that email thread, Mark Epstein asks his brother how his boy Donald Trump is doing, and then asks if Putin has any photos of Donald Trump blowing Bill Clinton. Epstein responds with a nickname of Donald Trump, Donnie T, and they start making jokes about Jeffrey Epstein and Trump being in prison together. Look, the veracity of Mark Epstein's implication that Putin had, these images of Trump doing certain acts to Bill Clinton, I'm not so sure. But here is certainly what is more telling and more relevant. Donald Trump was referred to as Epstein's boy. He had a nickname for him. Donald Trump and Epstein had a very close relationship. And as if you recall and remember, Donald Trump for months and years has said he had no relationship with Epstein. He said he wasn't in the Epstein files, and here he is in these emails being referred to as Epstein's boy. Yeah, not good at all. In fact, very terrible. Look, if Donnie T doesn't have anything to hide, he should be in favor of releasing the Epstein files and not taking Lauren Boebert into the Situation Room to try to convince her to not sign onto the petition. So look, those files, because of the work of Thomas Massie and Ro Khanna and House Democrats, will hopefully be released soon. And look, we'll just have to see if there's anything more about Trump and Bill Clinton. But look, no matter what, Epstein, Trump, intertwined, involved, very, very, very bad stuff. So what the hell is...
Sit down if you want to. I didn't know who I might meet or what they might ask. You ever been on a real shrimp boat?
No.
This is a real photograph of Trump and Bill Clinton, and it kind of makes the recent Epstein email disclosures make a little more sense. So this is one of the emails released by the House Oversight Committee recently, detailing an email chain between Jeffrey Epstein and his brother Mark. As you can see at the bottom, Mark and his brother Jeffrey are talking about Donald Trump at the beginning of this email chain. At one point, Epstein states that he's with Bannon. I'm assuming that's Steve Bannon. And then Mark Epstein, Jeffrey's brother, emails him and says, ask him if Putin still has the photos of Trump blowing Bubba.
US President Donald Trump is attempting to shift the Epstein spotlight this morning, ordering an investigation into top Democrats and potential ties to the late sex offender.
Bill Clinton, certainly the most high-profile Democrat on this list named by Donald Trump. The former president has always denied any knowledge of Jeffrey Epstein's crimes, but he is one of a number of people being called out by the US president this morning in what is a real big change in how Donald Trump is navigating this really renewed focus on Jeffrey Epstein. And
what do you mean it's confirmed that Donald Trump did that to Bill Clinton? What? You're telling me that our commander-in-chief was throwing neck for Bill Clinton? Hillary, Monica, you got a new spit, sister. This is the state of our politicians right now. Oh my God. Why is Bill Clinton so good at having sex with people who...
Trump fucking sucked off Bill Clinton! Trump was slobbing on that fucking knob all along. It all makes sense now. Oh my God. Yes! Yes! This is huge. This is huge for us, guys. You have to understand. This is such big news. If I ever meet him and I have a microphone. Trump, so did you gag a little? Let's ask the hard-hitting questions. Let's ask the real questions. Okay, they released some of Jeffrey Epstein emails, okay? He's emailing somebody, and he says, ask Putin if he has the picture of Trump sucking off Trump!
I love you. Sadly, this shouldn't shock you, but Trump just called for the investigation of Bill Clinton. Moments ago, he just called for the DOJ and FBI to investigate Bill Clinton, Larry Summers, and Reid Hoffman for their involvement with Jeffrey Epstein. What might not be apparent, though, is the underlying reason why he chose to do this right now. You see, Trump now knows that the House will likely pass the bill to release the Epstein files, and the Senate, too, will likely pass that same bill. What happens next is the bill would be placed on Donald Trump's desk. And he doesn't want the Epstein files released because he knows that they will be really bad for him. He would then have a chance to veto the bill, but if he vetoed the bill, even his own followers would be up in arms over him vetoing the bill and covering up the Epstein files. So, he can manufacture a reason to veto the bill. That reason would be if Bill Clinton is under federal investigation for being in the Epstein files, he can't release the Epstein files because then it will compromise that investigation.
Trump giving Bill Clinton a blowjob was not on my bingo card for 2025. Trump giving Bill...
To listen to me. I'm going to say this again.
This was in a social media post earlier this...
Oh boy. I'm going to be really careful how I phrase this. I will say is that this is allegedly one of the most viral Jeffrey Epstein emails that have been recently released. Exchange between Jeffrey and his brother Mark, in which Jeffrey was allegedly with Republican strategist Steve Bannon, and Mark asked this question. I'm not going to say it out loud, you can read it. That is a well-known nickname of Democratic President Bill Clinton. The several nicknames that he had, that is one of them. This turns out to be true. I do not know this for certain. I'm only speculating and using my opinion. Not only be one of the biggest scandals in American politics, but it will be one of the biggest scandals in global human history, especially when we take into account how the Republicans feel about queer relationships. If it turned out that a certain Republican president who's in office right now had done such a thing to a former Democratic president, in theory, and furthermore having done such a thing with potential photographic evidence being in existence, it would be the end of the Maga movement, it would be the end of the Republican Party, it would probably be the end of Trump's presidency almost overnight. This would send a shockwave through the right wing that would shatter the entire thing. Trump is not only a rallying point for conservatives and the far right in the United States, he is a rallying point for the far right all around the world.
Why is this the first picture?
Okay. Pause. Donald Trump was sucking what? Huh? How is this not break? Why is the world carrying on like we just didn't hear that? Why are people going to work? Because I would be standing on the streets like this. Damn. Like, huh? This is y'all's president. You know. Okay. Pause. Donald Trump was sucking what? Huh? How is this not break? Why is the world carrying on like we just didn't hear that? Why are people going to work? Because I would be standing on the streets like this. Like, huh? This is y'all's president. You know, white people, they be the real ghetto people. They are the real ghetto because clearly this is not even breaking news. Disgusting. Disgusting. Mind you, this isn't even the worst of it. The Epstein files have not been released. So they're preparing us because this information that 10 years ago would have stopped the world at its tracks, it's basically not the worst of it. Okay. This world has finished. We don't even care anymore. That's the sad thing. Because how has the world not stopped? Okay.
Of all the things we've discovered and experienced on this horrific timeline, Donald Trump giving Bill Clinton the Gok 3000 allegedly was not on my radar.
How you doing?
Of all the things we've discovered and experienced on this horrific timeline, Donald Trump giving Bill Clinton the Gok 3000 allegedly was not on my radar.
How you doing?
Damn. Other in public can be tugging on each other's dicks in private.
Wow.
This just tells us America in this current timeline is the worst telenovela. It's not even a telenovela anymore. We've surpassed that. We are now in a Tubi film. What do you mean? What the fuck was going on at Jeffrey Epstein's house, island plane, estate? What was going on? And honestly, I don't care who's in these files. Based on these little tidbits and breadcrumbs we're getting from these emails, I would literally like all the files to release. I don't care if every Democrat's on it. I don't care if everyone I've ever looked up to is on it. I don't care if Obama's on it. Release the Epstein files because we need to see what the fuck.
A new social media post here from the President of the United States.
Donald Trump says he wants the FBI and the Justice Department to investigate links between the late...
You're telling me that Trump blew in Bill Clinton's saxophone? You're telling me there's actual real-life emails that were dumped that says Trump gave the Gluck 3000 to Bill Clinton.
Damn.
Shouldn't have done that with my cheek. Damn. I have never not wanted to see proof of that. I've never more been like, maybe that should only touch the eyes of people who need to do the prosecution, because I would rather light my eyeballs on fire with acid and glass than see that.
Okay, so everyone's talking about Donald Trump supposedly giving Bill Clinton a little bit of gluck glug, a little bit of kirk, if you will. But nobody's talking about the fact that Vladimir Putin has a photo of it happening. The Russian president has a photo of the sitting U.S. president sucking off a former president. Blackmail. Okay, so everyone's talking about Donald Trump supposedly giving Bill Clinton a little bit of gluck glug, a little bit of kirk, if you will. But nobody's talking about the fact that Vladimir Putin has a photo of it happening. The Russian president has a photo of the sitting U.S. president sucking off a former president.
The big bill.
Blackmail. Okay, so everyone's talking about Donald Trump supposedly giving Bill Clinton a little bit of gluck glug, a little bit of kirk, if you will. But nobody's talking about the fact that...
So in these newly released emails, Jeffrey Epstein's brother asked Jeffrey Epstein if Putin still has the photos of Trump blowing Bill Clinton. Literally, blowing Bill Clinton.
We're going to feel very good.
I mean, it says Bubba, but everybody knows that that's the nickname for Bill Clinton. And yeah, everybody knows that Trump was friends with the Clintons long before he was in politics. Remember back when he was a Democrat? That doesn't mean that he was, oh God, what, damn. Yeah, I mean, well, that doesn't look good.
I'll kiss every guy, man and woman, man and woman. Look at that guy, how handsome he is. I'll kiss him. Damn. Not with a lot of enjoyment, but that's okay.
And old Donnie's been going real hard not to get these Epstein files released. He's even gone after Thomas Massey and Marjorie Taylor Greene because they've been pushing to have them released. He's threatened to primary any Republican that votes for these files to be released. Let's say that maybe the best case scenario is that there's like photos of him blowing dudes in there. And I personally don't care if he blows dudes. I'm not gonna do it, but I think anything is better than, you know, photos of him raping kids. It's just super sketchy when somebody is going really hard to protect human traffickers who trafficked in kids and the people that went ahead and did the nasty shit to the kids. Sympathizers and co-conspirators are not any better than actual pedophiles.
The reason that everyone is so excited about Bubba Gate is because it genuinely is something that will sink the MAGA movement. What I mean when I say this does involve confessing a really unfortunate reality. That unfortunate realization is that even if hard, irrefutable, rock-solid evidence of Donald Trump being involved inappropriately with underage girls in connection to Jeffrey Epstein, if that comes out, there is a good contingent of the MAGA movement that will still support him. Megyn Kelly coming out and trying to convince conservatives that some PDF files are better than others.
Ironic.
Because of the age of the victims, etc., etc., that is proof of that. We've seen enough disturbing tweets from the likes of Azalea Banks and other weird MAGA-y grifter type folks. They will look for ways to justify it. They are currently looking for ways to justify, defend, or just brush it off. But Bubba Gate, Donica Lewinsky, Slop Top Trump, Big Beautiful Bill versus the Nekusi. That will sink MAGA. MAGA might be so unbelievably cooked and radicalized that a good number of them will stick by Trump even if he's found to be a PDF file.
Damn. Come on now, dawg.
You cannot say the same if it was found that he got sloppy with another man. Hatred, the homophobia, the prejudice, the anti-LGBTQ fanaticism within MAGA will not allow for this to be a thing. Mere idea of it is toxic enough. That Trump is keeping his distance from reporters like a cryptid so that no one can ask him questions about it is telling. Think that both you and I can both imagine a world in which MAGA receives irrefutable evidence that Donald Trump is an honest-to-God PDF file and they just overlook it and brush over it and don't say anything about it. But I can't imagine a world where everyone finds out that Trump gave slop to Bill Clinton. I can't imagine MAGA being able to brush over that, and I know you can't either. The hatred they've been drilled in is too much. Think about how they react to Pete Buttigieg. Trump will suddenly be in that category. He will be in the crosshairs of that same knee-jerk reflex hatred and it will break the cognitive dissonance. Bubba Gate is the biggest possible disaster. Don't get me wrong, the Epstein files is a disaster for Trump, but this is set to be way worse.
So, in case you haven't heard,
I did just ask the department.
So, in case you haven't heard, I'm delighted to be the person to tell you.
Donald Trump topping Bill Clinton, surprising? No. Disgusting? Absolutely yes. The mere thought makes my eyes bleed and my brain cave in on itself. Damn. But what we are not addressing is the fact that Bill Clinton wanted Donald Trump to top him. Donald Trump topping Bill Clinton, surprising? No. Disgusting? Absolutely yes. The mere thought makes my eyes bleed and my brain cave in on itself. But what we are not addressing is the fact that Bill Clinton wanted Donald Trump to top him.
Donald Trump topped off Bill Clinton.
Damn.
A new email leaked from Jeffrey Epstein's brother Mark. He emailed Epstein asking if he had the photo of Donald Trump blowing Bubba.
Damn.
Bubba is the nickname of Bill Clinton. The big, beautiful bill to Donald Trump all along was Bill Clinton's penis.
And I said, let's make it one big, beautiful bill, my friend.
Ironic.
Look, I knew Donald Trump had beef with Bill Clinton. I just didn't know he had Bill Clinton's beef. This thing is taking a crazy turn. Look, I knew Donald Trump had beef with Bill Clinton. I just didn't know he had Bill Clinton's beef. Damn. This thing is taking a crazy turn. I understand that Hillary and Donald were going up against each other in 2016, but this is a subplot nobody saw coming. No pun intended. Like, what the hell is going on? Damn. I heard Bill Clinton say in the 90s, I did not have relations with that woman. Does he have to come out and say, I did not have relations with that Donald? What is happening?
We're trying to solve a problem.
The tea in the Epstein emails that were released is fucking scalding. Because it's all over the internet right now that Donald Trump gave Bill Clinton fellatio. Damn. And apparently there's pictures. So you mean to tell me Donald Trump was blowing Bill Clinton and somebody was in the room taking pictures?
Come on now, dog.
Here is a copy of the email. It says, I'd rather be in Donnie D's shoes. And then someone replies and says, you mean Donnie T? Then someone said, you and your boy Donnie can make a remake of that movie Get Hard. Damn. Then someone said, ask him if Putin has the photos of Trump blowing Bubba.
You don't have the cards right now.
And it's being alleged that Bubba is Bill Clinton's nickname.
I woke up this morning and I saw some really disturbing news on my For You page. And I'm like, Donald Trump and Bill Clinton was doing what? Well, this explains why those Trump and Hillary debates were so heated back in the day, like 2016. This is why Trump was worried about those Epstein emails getting leaked in the first place. People don't care about his essay allegation. Don't care about his racism.
Damn.
They don't care about his misogyny.
Damn.
They don't care about him being a felon.
Damn.
And they didn't even care about the PDF file allegations.
Damn.
But if his base, his voters find out that he was doing stuff with Bill Clinton, big beautiful Bill, this is actually so hilarious. Like, I need to know the reaction of, I'm not around MAGA voters. Like, if you guys have MAGA people in your family, like, what are they saying right now? And the fact that Putin has the picture. This is why Donald Trump, like, can't let Putin go, even if he wanted to.
You don't have the cards right now.
Putin is like Patrick from that one episode where he had the embarrassing picture of SpongeBob at the Christmas party in a little box. But it's Trump and Bill Clinton. Politics has gotten so messy, and I just miss when we had a normal president. Oh, and to make things worse, there is a picture of Trump, like, grabbing toward Bill Clinton's private area.
Damn.
Well, there were 3 of us in this marriage, so...
I'll kiss every...
Well, there were 3 of us in this marriage.
I'll kiss every...
I had to go.
Yes, people, that was it for today.
Hello, welcome guys, my YouTube channel.